Okay, so for today, here's what we're gonna go over is some hip prep or hip warm up. All right, so commonly what we'll see people do when they're pulling weight from the ground, when they're squatting, we'll see a common flaw with the knees going in. So Jordan just gonna show what we're talking about. So if you're squatting, we'll kind of see the knees dip in like that, right? And there's a lot of reasons why that happens, but one thing we're gonna go over today is how to mitigate that knee going in situation. And what we're trying to do here with these following exercises with Jordan and Leah is we're trying to get the lateral stabilizers of the hip warmed up and prepped. So one of the reasons why knees go in, all right, is because we have weak lateral rotators, so specifically the gluteus medius. And if you have weak lateral rotators, they don't have the ability to, as you squat, pull your knee back out, okay? Now there's other things that go on too, like a tight adductor, tight medial gastroc, and those types of things. But for today's purposes, what we're going to show you is a few drills to warm up the hips before doing squats, deads, anything you're pulling off of the ground. Some of these drills we'll do before jumping and running as well too, just to kind of get the hips prepped and warmed up. All right, so one thing we're going to use here is we have what we call a slingshot. We do a lot of side to side, just stepping and walking. The other thing that we use in here too are mini bands, right? So same purpose as a slingshot. If you don't have one of these at your disposal, you can use one of these mini bands. These are also very cost effective. So what we'll have Jordan do is just kind of face this position here. Okay, she's going to get with her legs about shoulder width apart, right? And I want you to actually toe in a little bit, so as you step, you kind of lead with your heels. So she's just going to do 5 steps to the right and 5 to the left. Right, and you're always keeping your feet at least shoulder width. Good, come on back. And you're not coming with your legs any closer, right? So there's always tension on the band. All right, good. And we'll do 2 to 3 sets of maybe 15 each direction, right? But just 5 reps for today for the demonstration purposes. All right, and the next drill that we're going to do is we're going to have her take that off. Okay, and what she has on too is a weight belt. All right, and with the weight belt, we're going to feed a giant band. Okay, so green band, resistance through the center of it. And what she's going to do is she's going to go ahead and pull it through and make sure it's equal on both sides. All right, and then she's going to make sure her belt is nice and snug. All right, and then she's going to take her feet, and in each loop, one foot goes in each loop. All right, a little bit of balance training there too, right? Okay, all right, now from this position here, right, all she's doing is in place marching. So she's just going to go ahead and lift her legs up, about 3 to 6 inches, and hands on her hips, real good tall posture in the torso. And we're going to do this for about 2 minutes. And then you're going to rest about 2 to 3 minutes, and you're going to do 2 to 3 sets total of that. Okay, so go ahead and just keep doing a little more, right? So that's what, and then also what you can do with this is you can walk forward with the bands, right? You can walk backwards. You can do giant steps out with the legs and then bring them back in, right? You do that for 2 minutes, you'll feel in the hips for sure, big time. Okay, another thing we could do in this position here too is mimic pulling from the ground, right? So from this position here, we're just going to have her go down into like a Romanian deadlift position, right, and then come back up. All right, we could do sets of 10 of that after each 2 minutes. All right, good. Okay, so that's banded marching in place, okay, version 1. All right, thanks, Jordan. Leah's going to go over banded marching in place version 2, right, and this is if you have a squat rack at your disposal. So we have over here for Leah a band attached to the squat rack down low with a couple pins. Right, and you can adjust the tension in this by changing bands up or finding a squat rack that might have a wider base. So she has a dip belt on her right now. What she's going to do is feed the dip belt around the green band. You can do 1 loop, 2 loops, whatever it takes. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and stand right up. Okay, we're going to give her a med ball here to hold as well and just kind of hug it, right? And that's just for stability purposes, to kind of lock you down into position. Okay, and same thing that Jordan did, we're going to go ahead and stay here in this position, and we're going to march, right? And for her, she'll be able to go higher with her knees, right, because she's anchored at the ground. Same deal, she's going to do it for about 2 minutes, rest 2 minutes, okay, and then maybe do 2 to 3 sets, okay? All right, that's your tips for Tuesday for this installment. You could choose, don't do all 3 of these in one session. This is pick your choice and change it up each day. Thank you.